Hi, good evening, everyone. Okay, so we are here to go through the presentation for Comprehensive Safety Action Plan for District 5. This is our first community meeting for this district. I would start with, I would like to thank you to attend this meeting. I know everyone is super busy in their lives, so really appreciate your time today. I do want to say a couple of things is that this meeting is being recorded, so we will be turning on the recording pretty soon here. And also, if you do need closed captioning, then there is an option that you can turn on Teams. There are three dots, and you can click on it, and it will help you to turn on the closed captions if that's needed. With that, we will dive into the presentation. With here today, we have Michael Martin from Calaveras County, Laurie Dodge, and Armando Lee at TJKM. It's myself, Ruta Jaribala, I am the principal as well as the project manager, Rudy Patel and Grishma Pandya as a transportation planner. And then from GHD, we have Melissa Estrada, who is helping us with the community outreach and stakeholder outreach component on the project. A quick agenda for tonight's meeting. We are going to kind of get into a little bit of detail as to what is Comprehensive Safety Action Plan. We generally call it CASP. You will hear me saying that multiple number of times. It's just abbreviation to Comprehensive Safety Action Plan. We are also going to quickly talk about the process for this plan. Um, we have started with collision analysis, so we want to share some initial findings of the collision analysis, high injury network, corridors, and intersections that we will be looking at. For this particular project, we have developed a specific project website that is helping us for not only the outreach but also to collect a lot of issues, concerns, and feedback that community and stakeholders have. We are going to talk quickly about safety champions and then open it up to discussions and questions and Q&A. And then before closing, would like to reserve probably half a minute to talk about the next steps as to where do we go from here. What is a safety comprehensive action plan? So Calaveras is developing a CASP plan, which is Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, which is funded by USDOT through Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program. And basically, this particular program is geared towards improving safety on roadways and intersection within our county. The most important guiding principle for this plan is to prioritize human life over speed, convenience, and also develop infrastructure within our county or design concepts that helps us to reduce or prevent, I should say, traffic deaths and severe injuries. So we are going to look into roadway designs to account for human errors, promote slower speed throughout the county, expand safe transportation options like walking, biking, motorcycling. Also look into equitable roadway safety strategies, which are not only data driven, but also look into enforcement and education as a part of it. It is a two-prong approach. So we are looking into proactively as well as reactively, including the two aspects to this plan. Reactive approach is more of what we do with the data, the analysis of the data. But the proactive approach is more of listening to the community, listening to the stakeholders, reaching out to them, understanding their needs, their concerns, their feedback. So it is kind of including both proactive as well as reactive approach. Also, we want to make sure that our strategies are aligned with transportation and land use policies. We also want to implement proven and innovative strategies that could help county to eliminate fatal and severe injury collisions or any kind of injury collisions, but learn from the lessons learned. So that is the reason why we are also reaching out to the community to understand what has helped them in past. And then ultimately, the goal of this plan is to eliminate all traffic related fatalities and serious injuries, with the commitment to making our roads, vehicles, traffic system, infrastructure, everything safe for all road users. The process, we did kickstart this meeting in April of 2025. We collected 5 years worth of data from January 2020 to December 2024. Once we got the data, we analyzed the data, and that kind of gave us what are the collision trends within our county, what are the needs, and then also we want to kind of specify that we have considered only killed and severe injury collisions. We have looked at other injury collisions to get the trends, but the main objective of this plan is to focus on killed and severe injury collisions. Through the presentation, I would either say killed and severe injury collisions, or fatal and severe injury collisions, or KSI. All three means the same. Once that is done, it also helped us to identify high-risk networks. It considered the total number of collisions through our corridors as well as intersections. After this, we will be developing safety countermeasures. They could be location-specific projects, corridor-specific projects, county-wide projects. Once that's done, we will integrate that into the plan. We would have roster of projects by the end of this process, and as everyone knows, that we do need funds for implementing those projects. So it is very important that we also prioritize those improvements. So we will be doing that as a part of this process, then develop a draft plan, take it to the Board of Supervisors for adoption, and also have a final plan ready by the end of this process. As you can see, throughout this CAS process, we have made sure that at the onset of the project itself, we do involve the stakeholders as well as community members. So there are a few meetings that we have penciled in so that we can constantly take your input and incorporate them in our plan. We have completed a few meetings. Actually, last week we also had District 4. Sorry, we are missing that over here. And today we are having this meeting with District 5. We also held a TAC meeting on September 16th. And then we have few more meetings coming up, which would be more in-person meetings, where we could talk about the next steps that will be developed through the process. So just a quick timeline on where we are in this process today. We specifically wanted to make sure that we have representatives from multiple agencies and departments, because this is a collaborative effort. And that is the reason we formed technical advisory committee, which comprises of representatives from Calaveras County Planning Department, Board of Supervisors, whether it's District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, County School District, Senior Services, County Fire Department, Office of Emergency Services, California Highway Patrol, City of Angels Camp, Caltrans District 10, and Calaveras County Council of Government. So we do have reps from all these agencies because this is a joint effort. Then we want to kind of get everyone's input towards the end to prepare a robust plan. Quickly diving into the technical aspect of this, which is also the reactive approach, is looking into the collision analysis for 5 years. And as you can see, within our county, we have seen 356 total injury collisions. When I say injury collisions comprise of fatal or killed injuries, severe injury, visible injury, complaint of pain. So all these four are components of injury collisions. When we dive into it a little bit more, we are looking at 6% of these injuries are fatal injuries, 21% severe injury, 46% visible injury, and 7% complain of pain. Please do note that the collision data on Caltrans maintained facilities like SR4, SR12, 26, SR49 are not a part of this analysis. We are just looking at county maintained roads. So that is what is being considered in this analysis. We also started looking into the trend to see what have we seen in past. So from 2020 to 2024, as you can see, that the collisions are pretty consistent. We did have a little bit of hike in 2021 and 2023, but we are seeing that the number of collisions have decreased in 2024, which is a good sign. The dark line is the KSI, killed or severe injury collisions, or fatal or severe injury collisions, and the lighter one are all injury collisions. A lot of these collisions have occurred on intersections as well as roadway segments or corridors. So fatal and severe injury collisions, a total of 96 of them, as you can see on the right in the map, that these are the locations where we have seen fatal and severe injury collisions within our county. Diving into the analysis a little bit more, as I mentioned before, that there are quite a few collisions on intersections as well as roadway segments, but when you look at the bifurcation, you can see 71% of collisions, especially KSI collisions, are on roadway segment versus 29% is at an intersection. Also, daily trend, it's not very uncommon to see that you generally see a hike in collisions during weekends. So that is what we are seeing here too, that Saturday, Sunday has comparatively higher number of collisions than other weekdays. Monthly trends, June, July, and August are kind of peaked in our county. And then collision by mode, a lot of these collisions have um, um, passenger cars and pickup trucks involved as a mode, followed by motorcycles and then bicycles and pedestrians. So just a bar chart that shows the percentage of each mode that has been involved in the collision. Again, we kind of wanted to also understand that which are the violation categories that have um, led to these collisions. And when we look into it, improper turning, unsafe speed, DUI are the major three violation or the top three violation categories that have led to collision types like hit objects, overturned vehicles, and head-on collisions. Also, since there were high percentage of motorcycle collisions, we thought that we should also look into a little bit of like we should deep dive into some of the motorcycle collisions and see what is exactly going on. And as you can see, 69 collisions of the total collisions contribute to motorcycle mode, and 69% of them, again, following the same trend as all collisions for all modes, are occurring on roadway segment and 31% at an intersection. Similar to our overall yearly trend, it's pretty constant with 2023 peaking up a little bit, but then 2024 was a good year. The collisions have gone down considerably. And then a lot of these motorcycle collisions have occurred during daylight, but 30%, sorry, I should not say 30, but 28% have also occurred at nighttime where there were no street lights present. So we will be looking at that and seeing if we could recommend some street lights throughout the county if that is the main reason for these collisions. Also, looking at the violation category for motorcycle collisions, again, this is pretty much following the overall trend. Also, improper turning, driving wrong side of the road, unsafe speed, and DUI were the top four violation categories that led to collisions like overturning of vehicles, hit objects, and head-on, followed by rear end and broadside. Specifically for District 5, we are kind of catering this presentation to see what is happening within District 5. So a total of 53 of the total collisions have occurred in District 5, with 4% contributing to fatal collisions, 30% severe injury collisions, 41% visible injury, and 25% complaint of pain. The trend was pretty high in 2021 for District 5, unlike 2023 that we have seen overall. And the total collisions occurring on a roadway segment is 56%. It was, as you have seen before, that it was a little higher when we looked at the overall collisions, and 44% intersection collisions for collisions by location. So pretty close on percentage over there. And then modes, again, passenger cars or pickup trucks were greater percentage of mode that was involved in the collision, followed by motorcycle collisions. Also, we looked at the violation category. Again, similar trend, improper turning, unsafe speed, DUI, pedestrian violation. Basically, pedestrians are violating the rules and regulations and driving the wrong side of the road are some of the top violation categories that have again led to similar trend for overall collisions, hit objects, overturning of vehicles, broadside and rear end collisions. And then the lighting conditions when these collisions occurred, daylight 50% and dark, no street lights 44%. High injury network corridor map, we did identify high injury network and the corridors that we really need to look into and see what can be done. So here is the map for it. And the next slide, we have listed the corridors. So as you can see, Little John Road, Baldwin Street, Railroad Flat Road are the top 3 corridors that have maximum number of collisions. And then we have listed all the other ones. So in total, we have 10, and we will be looking at all of them, but we just wanted to kind of highlight the top 3 also. With that, I would like to pass it on to Melissa. As I mentioned before, that we do have a project web page that we have created for this project, and this will help us to hear from you and get your feedback. So Melissa, you want to take it from here?
Yes, thank you, Ruta. Can you please confirm that you can see my screen?
I can see it.
Awesome, thank you, Holly. So I do see a question for Patrick. I'm assuming you might have a question related to public outreach. So maybe we can, if you could maybe hold on for just a little bit, Patrick. We have a quick demonstration to go through, and then we're going to open up the presentation to any questions that you may have. Awesome. So to talk about public outreach, the county has created a web page that is accessible via the link listed below, safestreets.calaveras.gov.us, as well as via the QR code shown below. So if you have a smartphone, you can hold the camera up to the image and it will provide a link to the website. On the webpage, there's general information regarding comprehensive safety action plans generally, including FAQs. And specific to this plan, the project timeline, project documents, and upcoming public meeting information is provided. We are hosting 2 sets of public meetings. This first set is to introduce the plan. The second set of public meetings, which will occur in the winter, will be in person, and at those meetings we'll present the potential safety countermeasures. So in addition to the webpage, so additionally, the webpage includes a how you can help section where you can provide your input in 3 different ways: via the survey, the interactive map, and the project sign-up sheet. So in addition to the collision analysis, public input from the survey and the interactive map will be key in the development of the safety countermeasures, which could include infrastructure projects as well as educational programs. So I'm going to quickly conduct a live demonstration. Just go through these slides. So from the project webpage, I'm going to scroll down to the interactive map section, and I'm going to click on the interactive map box. And this leads to the interactive map. So the interactive map allows you to input a location-specific comment to a map. In the interactive map, you can either add a new comment or rate an existing comment. So I'm going to expand the size of this screen through this little button right here. And again, the first step is to find your location. You can either do that by entering an address in the search bar, or you can zoom into your project location. You can zoom in with your mouse if you're on a desktop. You can zoom in with your fingers if you're on a tablet, or you can use this plus sign that's embedded within the map as well. And there are instructions that are indicated here as well. And I'm sorry, 2 sets of instructions that are included here on the top. So for this demonstration, I'm going to zoom into Mountain Ranch Road. And also a feature of the map is that you can toggle between this map view as well as through aerial, you get an aerial view as well to provide a little bit more detail. So let's say that my issue is that as a pedestrian, I feel unsafe traveling from the north side of the street to the south side of the street because of high speeds on Mountain Ranch Road. So I'll zoom into my location. I'll click on the Add Marker button, and I will drop my marker in the area of my concern. So I dropped it, and I will select my comment category. Again, for my example, it's a walking comment. But there are also other categories for bicycling, driving, motorcycling, kids in schools, and safety. Again, we want to get feedback for all of those categories. So I selected my comment category, and now I'm going to input my comment. Again, I'll say something like crossing from the north to south sides is difficult with high speeds. I'll input my email address. I could also upload a picture or other image that I may have regarding the issue. And going back to the email address, inputting your email address is required to input your comment, but it's not shown to the public. And so to close out this comment, I would click the submit button. And once I click this button, a window will pop up confirming that it has been submitted. Again, that was just the illustration of inputting a new comment, but you could also rate an existing comment. So I'm going to go over to these existing comments. I'll read the comment, the text that was inputted for this comment, and if I agree with it, I could like the comment by doing the upvote, or I can select the downvote as well. So this comment is unique in that it looks like they did add a picture to their comment, which is nice so that we can further understand the issue that's occurring there. And I think that's it for the live demonstration map. Again, the information you provide is key for us identifying safety issues and locations so that meaningful safety countermeasures can be developed. So in addition to these 3 methods that I described previously, you can also input your comments by clicking on this Report a Concern tab within the project webpage. And here you can add some text to elaborate on the issue that you may be having. And now we'll open up to any discussion questions that you may have. Awesome. We see your hand, Patrick. We're going to unmute you. Fantastic. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. I'm Patrick Roy, Rancho Calaveras, District 5, which is part of the West County. District 5 encompasses the West County, which is roughly a third of the county population, if not a little bit more. So we have our traffic issues here. District 5 being lower elevations doesn't experience all the same issues that West County does with their higher elevations and snow and so forth to deal with. Our issues here are not so much highway related. or with highway features so much as they are traffic enforcement. Since the state highways traffic statistics have been omitted from the study, um, quite a few accidents and fatalities have been omitted from the numbers, but we have our share, and they're almost all caused by the same problems all the way across the board. We have speeding, tailgating, DUI, reckless driving, inattention, and distracted driving. Passing in illegal passing on narrow roads. So our roads, as they've been improved, have only exacerbated the speeding problem. Every time the roads get widened, the shoulders are leveled out and widened. People and curves are opened up to make them a little bit easier to navigate. All that does is entice higher traffic speeds. Unfortunately, we do not have a law enforcement presence to affect any type of traffic control. There's virtually no traffic law enforcement whatsoever in West County. When they are present, things slow down considerably, but when they're not present, it's every man for himself, and hold on to your backside, because you're liable to get passed on any one of the major feeder routes from that intersect with Highway 49 or Highway 26, such as Baldwin, Garner Place, um, let's see, Silver Rapids, and Vista del Lago. Speeding is a major issue, and we are not talking about small amounts of speed. We're talking 70, 80, 90 miles an hour in 45, 50 mile an hour zones. That makes it difficult for people to estimate closure speeds of traffic if they're going to pull out from an intersection on the main highway. We also have a significant issue with unlicensed and unregistered motorcycles and their riders on any street or highway in the district. Again, lack of enforcement. People know better, but their excuse is, well, where else are we going to go? That's not a community problem. It's a personal problem. We do have an issue with poor road conditions on the more residential streets, mostly because one local utility, CCWD, repeatedly digs them up and refills them with poor patchwork. So there's a continuing series of divots and potholes and other conditions created by utility work, repeated utility work at the same locations, that cause people to swerve to avoid chuck holes. In some cases, hit a chuck hole just right with your front tire, and it will jerk the steering wheel out of your hand as it tries to pull the tire, your steering to one side. So our primary concerns here are lack of law enforcement, public education, road surface condition. And downtown, we have an issue with driveway alignment at all the businesses. There was a poor thought put into layout of the driveways and so forth to avoid conflicts from one businesses on one side of the street from another. I don't know what this grant is supposed to accomplish if these areas are not addressed. I mean, if putting up new bridges, new road signs, or widening the highways aren't, in some areas may be beneficial, but in this end of the county, not so much. Street lights at intersections to light up street names could be beneficial, because that would reduce the incidents of people slamming on their brakes at the last second to turn at a street that they thought that they were about to overrun. But that's my take on it. We need more law enforcement. We need more public education. We need more law enforcement education. So I think money should be devoted to items that are going to be most effective for most of the incident causes, which is loss of control, speeding, DUI, distracted driving, passing, illegal passing, and so forth. those are our big issues. Motorcycles, the incidents of those are usually from the same causes. Again, you got your work cut out for you, but I don't think we should be putting our money into infrastructure as much as we should be in education and enforcement. And thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. So Ruta, I don't know if you want to speak to that, but again, this plan will develop both infrastructure projects as well as educational programs. So we will take note of the educational programs that you've noted. And Patrick, if there are locations, again, that are not within the Caltrans right-of-way, where lighting is an issue, driveway alignments are an issue, definitely go into the map or provide us with a little bit more detail of where those issues are occurring. We can try to develop some safety countermeasures for the lighting and the driveway alignment issues, just to improve safety in those areas if possible and within the county's jurisdiction. Ruta, did you want to speak on traffic enforcement and road service condition?
No, Melissa, just like you said, that this plan is not only looking into engineering solutions, but we are also going to look at the enforcement and education part of it. So we will have some action items with respect to that too. And then, as you can see, that our TAC members are made up like comprise of representatives from those groups too. So definitely that would be considered in the plan.
Awesome. I can move on to the next slide. And Ruta, if you want to close it out with next steps.
Yeah, if you just want to keep on sharing your slide, I can just use your
Okay.
share screen. So as next steps, we will be identifying collision profiles, and also start considering some countermeasures as well as safety strategies. And then again, like I had mentioned in the presentation, that we would have roster of projects, but there are limitations on funds. I know everything, we would like everything to be implemented, but we have to have a priority list for these projects. So we will be identifying that, and we will bring some initial findings and suggestions of these countermeasures and improvements and safety strategies to you next time to gather additional feedback and comment from everyone. With that, I think, that is the end of presentation. Please do visit our website, and like Melissa said, please do go to our map input platform and let your friends, families, neighbors know about it, so that we can get as many comments as possible. I think that's pretty much it at my end, Melissa.
Okay, sounds good. And with that, we'll conclude. Thank you so much for attending, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great evening.